Yo, what's going on, everybody? Suro here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about a topic that I really haven't seen too many people talk about, which is strange because it's actually huge news. This is, of course, the release of a mobile version of the game coming out on December 5th, but there's more to it than you think, and there's also something that has me, actually there's like two things that have me deeply concerned about its release, but overall there's a really great benefit of it coming to mobile, so we're going to jump into all that information in just a moment. Now, if you guys do enjoy this video at all, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It keeps my channel running, keeps my cats fed, and I would absolutely love to have you along in our community. And our very own Sheriff Woody would love for you guys to subscribe to the channel.
Really amazing place.
Alrighty, so let's take a look at the very short trailer that they revealed and some of the information, and then we're going to dive into it a little deeper. So they said your new favorite coming December 5th. So this will be launching alongside all of the other content on December 5th. So, I mean, December 5th is going to be a big day with some of the expansion pass, the free pass, and now mobile version of the game all coming out and multiplayer on the same day. This is our first little look at it. And it does say subscription required, and that's something we're going to dive into in just a second. And then it says game availability varies, so I don't know if it's going to be in everybody's region or zones. And then, of course, compatible hardware and software required. So I will say this is only on the iPhone, like Mac, pretty much Apple devices, because it does require an Apple subscription. But this is what it looks like in game. The graphics are actually pretty dang good for a mobile game. Hopefully they're not just showing this on like an iPhone 15 or something, but you can still take photos in here. And there are some things in the game that are limited, unfortunately, which we're going to talk about. So as you see, you can pretty much do everything that you could in Dreamlight Valley, and then you even get the expansion pass for free. I mean, I say free, but you have to be paying for Apple subscription, but at least you don't have to spend $30. So if you're a mobile player and you want this for like pretty much free and you already own the Apple subscription, you might want to just play it on here, because you wouldn't have to pay for the $30 until you can maybe save up and then decide that you want to get it on the other platforms. But here's another quick look. This was definitely Scrooge's shop. I guess we're gonna have to rebuy it. It's really cool that they added the expansion, because I thought they would have just done like the base game. As you can see, yeah, we definitely are in the second biome, so that's really exciting. And also, we're gonna go take a look and see how much this subscription actually is. I can't imagine it's that expensive. Alright, so Apple Arcade, it says unlimited access to 200 plus incredibly fun games with more added all the time. There's no ads, no interruptions, no in-app purchases. This actually creates a problem, and you wouldn't think that, because you'd be like, oh, no in-app purchases, that's awesome. Well, Dreamlight Valley has a lot of in-app purchases, so play online or offline and across your favorite Apple devices. Share your subscription with up to 5 people. Hold up, that's actually pretty cool. So if you have a family member or something, you could just share it with 5 other people or 4 other people. And then here it is. So it says a free 1-month trial. So there we go. I'm definitely going to, I've never done this before, but I'm definitely going to sign up for the 1-month trial just to test out Dreamlight Valley and maybe do a review video on it, see how it goes. But it's normally $6.99 a month. That's not that bad. And then you have all this other stuff, and then buy an Apple device, you get 3 months for free. Yeah, just go out and buy a $1,500 iPhone 15, and then you're set. You got 3 months free of this. So, okay, so it's $7 a month, or you can also get your free 1 month, which I'm definitely going to try out. Now, looking in like the Mac App Store right here, the thing that really stood out to me, of course, they talk about everything else, but this thing down here, it says, disclaimer, please note that Disney Dreamlight Valley Arcade Edition on Apple Arcade does not contain in-app purchases. As such, Star Path Seasons and the Premium Shop are not found in this version. So it does seem like a Dream Snaps and everything like that is included, but you will not be able to purchase or do your Star Path or purchase stuff from the Premium Shop. So it says, as such, Star Path Seasons and the Premium Shop are not found. So I don't know if you could purchase the Star Path and then go into your game if it's there. Probably not. It's probably just not there at all. I'm sure even if you purchase stuff through the Premium Shop on your other account, you would still have the clothing and items inside of your game. But that's the only 2 exceptions, it seems like. So it looks like you'll still be able to do Dream Snaps and you'll still be able to vote. So that's actually cool. Like, imagine you're on a road trip, or you're just away from your computer, your console, and you could just sit there and do some votes. Maybe you're at work, sneaking, you're on your phone. I mean, we all totally do that. You could just be voting on some Dream Snaps while at work. That's pretty cool. I don't recommend doing that, by the way, but if you guys do it, I'm not going to tell anyone. And then Apple actually made a post here. Let me scroll to the top. They made this post yesterday, and they highlighted Disney Dreamlight Valley Arcade Edition and then a bunch of other stuff. They're pretty much showing that there are a bunch of games that are getting ready to come out. So it was cool that they highlighted that one. And then they made a whole section here. It's pretty much the same thing, like traverse different realms, each with their own challenges and puzzles, forge friendships, blah, blah. So there wasn't anything new on here except for the bottom part. They said, Disney Dreamlight Valley Arcade Edition also includes the expansion pass, a rift in time, which includes a new storyline with secrets and treasures to uncover that have been lost in time. On Eternity Isle, a land far away from Dreamlight Valley, players will meet new Disney and Pixar friends and yield the power of a mysterious royal tool, the Hourglass, as they unravel the schemes of the nefarious Jafar. And then it looks like, I think that's Apple TV, right? So you could be playing it on your Apple TV. So could you just like hook up a controller? I have not messed with Apple TV. I do have an iPhone, but I haven't messed with like a lot of the Apple products. So that would be actually really cool if you could play it through an Apple TV device. So then here is the issue that we're going to run into. So over here on the Dreamlight Valley wiki, they have updated this section. So they did highlight the same thing we just talked about. No Star Path or Premium Shop items are found on this version. The UI has been updated to better support touchscreen devices, so that's going to be really nice. Now here's crossplay. It says crossplay is supported. Okay, so let me first describe. So crossplay is allowing you to play with other platforms. Cross save is allowing you to carry your save to multiple platforms. So I hope that makes sense. That's the difference between them. So it says crossplay is supported across Apple Arcade platforms, PC, Mac, and console platforms, except PlayStation. They're doing our PlayStation players dirty. So this brings me to an even bigger issue. If this is the case, of course we're on the wiki, but I think they have some information here that I'm pretty sure this is all accurate. If this is the case, does that mean when Valleyverse arrives, that PlayStation players are only going to be able to play with other PlayStation players? That's going to make me sad, and I feel like that is the case because Dream Snaps is that way, and that's just a minor feature. So if PlayStation isn't allowing Gameloft to have their game do crossplay, then it's not allowed here with even Apple is not able to allow them to do it. So I don't think that Valleyverse players are going to be able to play with anyone that's on the PlayStation. So PlayStation is going to be stuck with PlayStation players, and that is very, very disappointing. But we don't have any confirmation on that, of course, but be prepared. I feel like that's the direction this is going. So I don't know. Dreamlight Valley on PlayStation is definitely rough, especially like Dream Snaps. It's hard to rank high on there, and now getting shafted when it comes to this. Oh man. All right, so then they said cross-save is not supported for platforms outside of Apple Arcade ecosystem. Hold up. Apple Arcade subscribers can carry their game progress over to any of their Apple devices within the Apple Arcade ecosystem. iPhone, iPad, Apple TV, and Mac via cross-save, which is tied to the player's Apple account. So right there, it's acting like it's not supported for platforms outside of Apple Arcade. So does that mean I would have to start a brand new save? Wow, that is not good. That is not cool. If that's the case, that's a big, that's a big if of having mobile, because I would love, that would give me some incentive to purchase this Apple subscription. I would love to be able to take mine with me if I'm on a vacation or something, or I'm on a road trip, or, maybe you're just visiting family or something like that. I would love to be able to take my game with me. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice this until now. That is crazy. Why? No, I'm sure because Apple, Apple, they got their own money. They got, they're probably trying to get in on some exclusivity when it comes to this game. But man, I wish Dreamlight Valley would have just released their game in the App Store. Even charged us $5 or $10 for it, right? Most mobile games are free. But they could have just charged us like $5 or $10, and then we have the game, we're done. We can carry our progress over from our other saves. But having it in a subscription, and then from the looks of it, we're not going to be able to take our save with us, then what's the point? What would be the point of that? That is crazy. I don't know. Let me know your guys' comments and your thoughts in the comment section below, if that is the case, of course. Now let's talk about some of the positives of this. Obviously, it opens it up to a lot more people that may not have a console. They might not have a Switch, a PlayStation, Xbox, or a PC. You know, those things are expensive. Not everyone has one of those. And maybe some people are just, you know, they just love playing mobile games. I just finished watching the Disney Dreamlight Valley update stream, but it was announced at the end and that got me excited. That Disney Dreamlight Valley is coming to Apple Arcade. As someone who is sick with 13 different medical conditions, I am in bed 24/7 and therefore handheld gaming is the only way I play my games. I have a Nintendo Switch Lite. I don't have a Steam Deck because pre-orders aren't even available in my country. I haven't been able to play Dreamlight Valley since just after the launch because it gives me terrible motion sickness, man, especially in those caves. I mean, the mines, man, that camera angle, that it does give you motion sickness for sure. So the fact that the game is coming to Apple Arcade for me is amazing news. It means that I'll be able to play it on my iPhone, and maybe I'll discover it doesn't give me motion sickness like the Switch version does. For me, that was the most hype announcements of the entire stream. So that is one thing that everybody needs to remember when it comes to, like, whenever it comes to decisions that we may not necessarily agree with, or we might see a benefit in it, is something like adding it to mobile and expanding it to other audiences or to everybody is something that may not benefit you, you know, like, or me or whoever, but it could definitely benefit someone else. You know, there's times that maybe someone can't play on a console or a PC, or maybe they just can't pick up or even hold a controller. And we got to remember that this is why game companies try to expand to everybody, because you just never know how a certain person's daily life is. So there are many people that could definitely benefit from being able to have this game on mobile, which is absolutely amazing. And it's one of the main reasons I pushed so hard when a lot of people were being negative towards the cozy edition of Dreamlight Valley. And I was always like, that was just something I had to defend. It wasn't necessarily Gameloft that I was defending. It was everybody, because there are some people that just absolutely cannot get the game through digital means. Like, they need the physical copy. Maybe they don't want to use their credit cards online, or maybe it's a kid that wants to buy it but he has no, you know, means to actually purchase it online or through Steam or whatever. This allows them to actually go to the store and just pick it up there, which is really great. So that's something, whenever some of these decisions are made, they're not necessarily made because, you know, like Gameloft or the company wants to just, they're money hungry, you know, they want to keep trying to make money off of every platform and everything. Now, I do think that they didn't necessarily need to go the Apple Arcade route. That was definitely something I was not expecting, and it's not something I wish they did, because not only does that like exclude people that don't have the subscription, it also excludes the people that don't have an iPhone or an Apple device. There's like a lot, I don't know what the percentage is, but I would imagine it's half the people that own the phone, if not more, are on Android devices. Probably more than that, actually. But ultimately, I'm very happy that they're releasing it to more and more people, and it is just a start. Maybe they will expand it to Android later on down the road, but expanding it to stuff beyond consoles, beyond PC, and now bringing it to mobile audiences is awesome. It would have been nice to just have it for everyone, where you could just download it in your app store. So Apple Arcade, not my favorite idea, but it's a start. And to all those people that have been wanting to play the game and they just didn't have a way, I'm very happy that you have at least one option now to be able to play the game. You know, like the other user had spoken, they have trouble like even getting out of bed, things like that. So that really helps them out, and they are extremely excited for it. So even if that just helps out one person, to me, I think that was a wonderful decision on Gameloft's part. And we definitely need to expand to everybody. So that is it for the video. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. I would absolutely love to read them. I hope you guys have a really wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.